Today, we are going to discuss numerical on free convection. Today, we are going to exercise on how various correlations are going to be used for different conditions and so on and so forth. Particularly in free convection on vertical surfaces like a vertical plate, a vertical cylinder, the horizontal plates, heated surface facing up, heated surface facing down, and horizontal cylinder uh, for particularly two conditions like constant wall temperature and a constant heat flux. So let us have uh, discussions with the problems. First, let us take this problem. Uh, Example 1. A square plate of 0.4 meter by 0.4 meter maintained at uniform temperature of 400 degree Kelvin is suspended vertically in a quiescent atmospheric air at 300 degree Kelvin. Determine the boundary layer uh, thickness delta x at the trailing edge uh, trailing edge of the plate, and heat transfer coefficient we need to calculate over the entire length of the plate, and also rate of heat transfer. For any given condition, the procedure is first you have to identify the characteristic length for the given problem, and you have to find out the properties at mean film temperature. Properties at mean film temperature you have to find out. Later, you have to find out the Grashof number and the Prandtl number. That is the product of Grashof number and Prandtl number is Rayleigh's number. And depending on the magnitude of Rayleigh's number, you have to decide whether flow in the boundary layer is laminar or turbulent, particularly for the vertical surfaces. And if the Rayleigh's number less than 10 to the power of 9, the flow is considered to be laminar, and hence you have to use laminar conditions correlations. If a Rayleigh's number greater than 10 to the power of 9, then the flow in the boundary layer is considered to be a turbulent. Hence, a turbulent flow situations correlations you have to use, particularly for the vertical surfaces. And of course, for the horizontal surfaces, a separate set of correlations are there that you have got to use. So this is the common procedure. One has to look into it and one has to follow. So here he has given the a square plate kept in the vertical position, suspended vertically. So height of the plate is 0.4. Height of the plate is 0.4, width is 0.4, and wall temperature is 400 degree Kelvin, and the air temperature, that means the free stream temperature 300 degree Kelvin. So for vertical surfaces, one you have to remember that for vertical surfaces, characteristic length is always the height of the plate or height of the cylinder. So therefore, for vertical plate, this L will be the characteristic length upon which you have to calculate all Grashof number, Rayleigh's number, then the local or average heat transfer coefficient, etc. Anyway, now you know the wall temperature, you know the free stream temperature T infinity. So therefore, you can find out what is the mean film temperature at which you have to read all the properties of the air. So mean film temperature is calculated to be 750 degree Kelvin or 77 degree centigrade. So at this 77 degree centigrade, you have to read the properties. Say for example, at 70 degree centigrade, the properties from the table is read to be these values. So for natural convection, actually at 77 degree centigrade, it is coming, of course, between 70 and 80. You have to use the interpolation, of course, for to find out the values at 77 degree centigrade. If you use the interpolation formula, that is the linear Lagrangian formula, you will get the values at 77 degree centigrade exactly. Since values are not too much varying, so if you read at nearer temperature, for example, 77 degree centigrade is given, so is in the sense you have calculated. So therefore, one can read the values are nearer to the or values corresponding to the 80 degree centigrade. You can read, but one must use always interpolated formula in order to get the exact values. So from this air table, we have read properties of air such as kinematic viscosity 20.75 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Prandtl number is read to be 0.697 and thermal conductivity 0.03 and beta. So beta is nothing but the coefficient of volume expansion. So that is equal to 1 by Tf. That is equal to 1. Tf means absolute temperature. 1 by 350, that is 2.86 in 10 to the power of minus 3 per degree Kelvin. You can calculate for the air like this, or else straight away you can also read the value of beta from this table. So for 77 degree centigrade, you can roughly around 80 degree centigrade, you can read what is the value of beta. For 77 degree centigrade also one can calculate. That's another issue. So therefore, once you got the values, now you have to calculate the Grashof number at L is equal to 0.4 meter from the bottom. Grashof number obviously given by G into beta delta T L cube divided by mu square, and is calculated to be 4.16 into 10 to the power of 8, and therefore your Rayleigh's number is nothing but a GRPR. So is obtained to be 2.9 in 10 to the power of 8. Obviously, which is less than 10 to the power of 9. Hence, the flow in the boundary layer is laminar. Hence, the flow in the boundary layer is laminar. So, therefore, you have to use the boundary layer, that is the correlations corresponding to the laminar. And for the vertical plate, the boundary layer thickness at L is equal to 0.4. This is the correlation you have. This is the correlation you have. And if you substitute to this correlation and delta at x is equal to 0.4, that means here x is equal to L because it has to calculate at the top edge, that is the trailing edge. So therefore, the value of delta is calculated to be 1.5 centimeter. So now local heat transfer coefficient you have to calculate. Hence we have to get local Nusselt number. So for local Nusselt number, for constant wall temperature case, you have this equation, and once you substitute all these values here, and you'll get 53.45 local Nusselt number at x is equal to L. We need average Nusselt number for all local Nusselt number, particularly in the laminar flow. Average Nusselt number always will be calculated as 1 by L integral from 0 to L of local Nusselt number at x is equal to L. And for natural convection, you get this. Average Nusselt number is equal to 4 by 3 Nusselt number at x is equal to L. So therefore, 4 by 3 value you have to multiply to the Nusselt number corresponding to x is equal to L. So you will get average Nusselt number. Once you know the average Nusselt number, by using the average Nusselt number, you can calculate the average heat transfer coefficient. So you know that Nusselt number is equal to HL by K. So therefore, average heat transfer coefficient is equal to average Nusselt number into thermal conductivity divided by K. So once you substitute this, and you will get the average heat transfer coefficient as 5.35 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. In order to calculate average Nusselt number, you have another alternate correlations which I am showing here. So one which we have discussed here are corresponding to the local Nusselt number at a given value of x, and another Nusselt number for laminar region for Rayleigh's number less than 10 to the power of 9. You have this equation. Remember that this is the average Nusselt number, and using this average Nusselt number, you will calculate what is the average heat transfer coefficient. So using this average heat transfer coefficient is calculated as 5.77. So therefore, the rate of heat transfer is obtained to be, rate of heat transfer is equal to HA delta T. So therefore, H is the heat transfer coefficient into surface area for the square plate, height into width, 0.4 into 0.4, and delta T, temperature difference between the surface of the plate and the free air temperature outside. So therefore, it's calculated to be 85.6 watt. One can also use another correlation for getting the average Nusselt number for a laminar region, and this correlation one can also use. And if you use this, you will get this average Nusselt number as 84.93, and hence average heat transfer coefficient is obtained to be 6.37. So for your clarity, I have presented here 3 different correlations mentioned for laminar region, and one will give the average heat transfer coefficient 5.35, another one will give 5.577, and this will give 6.37. So no doubt, no one will give same average heat transfer coefficient or same value, but there always be a little variations from correlations to correlation. So therefore, one can use appropriately the appropriate correlation, and you cannot insist that this correlation only to be used, and it is left to the reader or left to the students that one can use whichever they feel they can use it. So that is what is mentioned here. From the above findings, we could see a little variations in the heat transfer coefficient from correlation to correlation, which do exist. So there always be a variation. It doesn't matter anyhow. So therefore, according to your convenience, so any one correlations can be used. And particularly whenever they ask to calculate the boundary layer thickness, and the first correlation you're supposed to use, and the second and third correlations will not give the value for value of a boundary layer, the equation for boundary layer thickness. So this is, so now example 2, which this problem will tell how free convection heat transfer coefficient and heat loss will be calculated if the plate is horizontal. So now problem goes like this. Calculate the rate of heat loss from the top and bottom of a flat 1 meter square horizontal restaurant grill heated to 227 degrees centigrade in ambient air at 27 degrees centigrade. So remember here that 1 meter square, that means 1 meter by 1 meter square plate is placed horizontally. So that means it is a horizontal variation plate. And remember that the top and bottom. So obviously, you have to calculate the heat transfer coefficients for two cases. One, the heated surface facing up, and the another one is heated surface facing down. Anyhow, the procedure is a common procedure here, that you have to find out whenever horizontal plates are given, you have to find out the characteristic length. The characteristic length for the horizontal plate is given as surface area divided by perimeter. For the square, surface area is L square, perimeter 4 times the side. So therefore L by 4 is the characteristic length, and it is calculated to be 0.25 meter. And here you should clearly remember this characteristic length is very similar to your hydraulic diameter, where hydraulic diameter is the 4 into area divided by perimeter, but here characteristic length is defined only as the ratio of surface area divided by perimeter. So this is the way you have to calculate the characteristic length. So next step, anyhow, it is to calculate, to read the properties of air at mean film temperature. At mean film temperature, mean film temperature is calculated to be 127 degrees centigrade. So, and it is equal to 127 degrees centigrade is same as 400 degree Kelvin. So beta you can read it, and so for 127 degrees centigrade, once again go back to the air table. 127 degrees centigrade, which lies between 120 and 140. So by interpolation, one can calculate, or one can calculate at 127 degrees centigrade. Roughly, even if you calculate, if you read at 130 degrees centigrade, because 127 is nearer to the 130. So at 130 degrees centigrade, also one can read. So if you want to read at 130 degree, 130 degrees centigrade, it is just an average between, it is just the average between 120 and 140. So the life will be very comfortable, so for reading at 130 degrees centigrade. However, I have presented here values exactly with the interpolation. Therefore, kinematic viscosity is read to be this, and thermal conductivity comes out to be 0.0034, and Prandtl number obtained to be this. And once you get all these values, anyhow, Rayleigh's number is to be calculated, which is the product of Grashof number and Prandtl number. So in Grashof number calculations, you must always remember here you are using the characteristic length LC, which is the ratio of surface area by perimeter. So anyhow, this will be 0.25 cube, and after substitutions, you will get the Rayleigh's number as 7.4 into 10 to the power of 7. So now for the heated surface facing up, you know this correlation. This correlation is used to calculate whenever Rayleigh's number lies between 10 within 10 to the power of this number. This correlation is valid. So therefore, by using this, you can calculate what is average heat transfer coefficient H. So then again here, L is the characteristic length. Remember that, and hence you will calculate what is the average heat transfer coefficient. It comes out to be 6.84 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Hence, heat transfer from the upper surface where the heated surface is facing up, so this comes out to be 1.37 kilowatt or 1368.2 watt. Now, from the lower horizontal phase, the lower horizontal phase, you know, which is it is nothing but the heated surface facing down. So for the Grashof number, the Rayleigh's number, anyhow it will be same whether the plate is the plate is placed such a way that the heated surface is facing up or the facing down. The Rayleigh's number remains same. So therefore, for this Nusselt number correlation is given by 0.27 into Rayleigh's to the power of 0.25. Hence it is obtained to be this. And again, by using the Nusselt equation, that is Nu is equal to HL by K. So H, average heat transfer coefficient. So by using characteristic length, is obtained to be 3.42 watt per meter square degree centigrade. And the correspondingly, the rate of heat transfer when the heated surface is facing down is obtained to be 683.9 watt. Since the same plate is dissipating heat from both the top and bottom surface, hence the total heat dissipated by the plate will be the sum of these two heat transfers. So therefore, this calculated to be 2402.8 watt or 2.4 kilowatt. So you can observe here that the amount of the heat transfer or the heat transfer coefficient when the surface heated surface is facing up comes to be more, and when the heated surface is facing down comes out to be less comparatively. The reason is very simple. The reason is very simple. Even in the next problems also one can look into that. You can observe that. That the reason is when the heated surface is facing up, obviously when the cold air particle get heated up, they will rise quickly, allowing the cold particles to reach to the surface little easily. That means the thickness of the boundary layer formed will be very, very thin. Hence, the heat transfer is more, hence heat transfer coefficient is more. Whereas the heated surface facing down, when the heated surface facing down, the heated surface, the heated particle will slide along the plate. So we'll going to slide along the plate, but the cold particles rushing over there, and the heated or warmed up particles will not move very easily. So therefore, the boundary layer thickness will keep on grow. Hence, higher the thickness of the boundary layer, lower will be the heat transfer. Hence, obviously, one can see the lower heat transfer coefficient. Hence, the amount of heat transfer also less. So this is very obvious. Even any case you can see. Okay. Now let us take the third problem on the vertical cylinder. A vertical cylinder 1.8 meter height, 7.5 centimeter in diameter is maintained at a temperature of 90 degrees centigrade in an atmospheric environment of 30 degrees centigrade. Calculate the heat loss by free convection from this cylinder. The cylinder may be treated as vertical plate. He need not to give, since he has given obviously whether the condition to use vertical surface or vertical plate correlation, you have to use this here by brute force. But if not given, then you have to calculate a d by L that must be greater than 35 divided by GRL to the power of 1 by 4. That condition you have to check. Anyhow, so here vertical cylinder, therefore vertical height will be the characteristic length and diameter is given 0.075 meter and the wall temperature 90 degrees centigrade is given and environmental temperature, that is the free stream temperature or outside temperature you can call it, so 30 degrees centigrade. So once you know the wall temperature and free stream temperature, you can read the properties of air at mean film temperature. This comes out to be 60 degree centigrade. So after 60 degree centigrade, you have to read all the properties of air here. Is here the properties of air corresponding to this values. So here we want to read here, need not to read everything. So we want to read or we want to know kinematic viscosity. This is needed, and Prandtl number we need. Prandtl number we need, and thermal conductivity we need, and beta you need. For beta 60 degree, you can read. You can read from here. You can read from here. This is the value for beta for A. Directly you can read it. So that is, it comes out 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. You can observe here also. Beta comes to be 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Look here, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So kinematic viscosity you have read, Prandtl number you have read, and thermal conductivity also you have read. So once you read all these, and now next step is to find out Grashof number. So accordingly, Grashof number G beta delta T L cube by nu square we calculate, and here L is nothing but the vertical height of the cylinder, and Grashof number comes out to be this, and the product of Grashof number and Prandtl number, which is the Rayleigh's number, is calculated to be 1.99 into 10 to the power of 10. So obviously, which is greater than 10 to the power of 9. Remember, vertical cylinder, for vertical cylinder, we always use the correlations corresponding to the vertical plates only. So therefore, Rayleigh's number is calculated to be 1.99 in 10 to the power of 10, which is more than 10 to the power of 9. Hence the flow is turbulent. And the flow is turbulent. So therefore, for once the flow is turbulent, for both constant wall temperature and heat flux, very popularly using correlation is Nusselt number is equal to 0.1 into RAL to the power of 0.333. So using this, you will calculate its average Nusselt number. It comes out to be 269, and hence average heat transfer we will calculate, which is coming 4.33 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Hence you can calculate the rate of heat transfer, that is HA delta T, So A is nothing but a surface area of the cylinder, which is equal to perimeter into length, that is pi d square pi d into L. So obviously, after substitution, you will get Q is equal to 110 watt. 110 watt. So now, so far we discussed vertical plate, horizontal plate with heated surface facing up, and horizontal surface with heated surface facing down, and vertical cylinder. Now the problem is on horizontal cylinder one, a steam pipe 100 in diameter, maintained at 170 degrees centigrade, is exposed to air at 30 degrees centigrade. The length of the pipe is 2 meter and it's kept horizontal. Now the steam pipe is kept horizontal. So that means it is as good as horizontal cylinder. You can treat this as the horizontal cylinder case. So determine the heat loss by the pipe per hour. Per hour. So now the given data, diameter is given 0.1 meter and length of the cylinder 0.2 and the wall temperature 170, length of the cylinder is 2 meter, wall temperature 170 and the free stream temperature 30 degrees centigrade. The orientation of the cylinder is horizontal. So here characteristic length for the horizontal cylinder or the sphere. So for the horizontal cylinder or sphere, you have to take the characteristic length as the diameter. You have to take characteristic length as diameter d. The reason is in horizontal cylinder or the sphere, the boundary layer will form or boundary layer going to exist across the diameter or around the diameter. So therefore, the characteristic length for horizontal cylinder and even for the sphere is d. So therefore, again same procedure. Mean film temperature you have to find out 100 degrees centigrade. At 100 degrees centigrade, you have to read all the properties of air. So at 100 degrees centigrade, the value of beta is given this. This is the value of beta, 2.68 into the power of minus 3, or else one also calculate 1 by T of value also. And now at 100 degrees centigrade, what is the value of properties of thing you can read, you can observe. So therefore, at 100 degrees centigrade, at 100 degrees centigrade, the kinematic viscosity comes to be 23.13 10 to the power of minus 6, and this is the Prandtl number. Remember that this is the Prandtl number, and this is thermal conductivity K, and the kinematic viscosity nu. So particularly, I need only 3, very important, and beta in free convection. So therefore, only 3, including beta, I need only 4 properties. So therefore, I have read it. And Grashof number based on the diameter, you're going to calculate, and it comes to be 6.88 in 10 to the power of 6. And the product of GRDPR comes out to be 4.74 into 10 to the power of 6. Now, in the correlation, Nu is equal to, you can observe this, C into RAD to the power of N. This correlation you have. So now corresponding to this product of GRDPR means Rayleigh's number. You can read from the table. what is the value of C and what is the value of N. So accordingly, if you substitute, so average Nusselt number is comes out to be 22.4, and hence average heat transfer coefficient is calculated as 7.2 watt per meter square degree Kelvin, and hence heat loss will be HA delta T. So for vertical cylinder, horizontal cylinder, surface area will remain same, pi d into L. So that is what you are seeing here, pi d into L. So accordingly, you are going to calculate 2276.7 kilojoules per hour. Kilojoules per hour. First of all, you will get in terms of watt, 632.4 watt. Watt means joules per second. So he had asked to calculate so much of heat loss per hour. So second, you have to convert it to hour, and obviously you will get this. So this is the one which you're going to use for the horizontal cylinder. Remember that. Okay. And very sensibly, one can observe here that either Grashof number or Nusselt number, whether it is based on what characteristic length, you can sensibly observe there. NUL or GRL or RAL. The suffix L represents these values are calculated based on the characteristic length of height or vertical height of the plate or cylinder and so on and so forth. And if they given GRD, similarly NUD. So D means, suffix D means these values are based on the characteristic length diameter. So this you should very clearly understand very sensibly so that there won't be any doubt in this. So let us move on to the another problem. These problems already we have discussed earlier. Here, consider a square plate of 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter with one surface insulated and other surface is maintained at uniform temperature of 100 degrees and 110 degrees centigrade, which is placed in quiescent air at atmospheric pressure and 40 degrees centigrade. Calculate the average heat transfer coefficient for free convection for the following orientation. The plate is horizontal with the hard surface faces up, and the plate is horizontal with hard surface faces down, and the vertical plate. Now the combination of horizontal as well as vertical, which you have already discussed in the first and the second problem, which are the combination of this, and properties are read at mean film temperature. Remember, mean film temperature properties are read. And once you read the mean film temperature, now for horizontal plates, whether the hard surface is facing up or facing down, you have to calculate what is the characteristic length, and this characteristic length is always defined as AS by P. So accordingly, you will calculate a GR value and Rayleigh's number, and appropriately you're going to use respective Nusselt's equation, and hence you will calculate average heat transfer coefficient. And similarly for the horizontal plate facing down, you observe here, and the vertical plate, when the plate is vertical, then the characteristic length will be the height of the plate or vertical height of the plate. So that is L is equal to 0.5 meter. Accordingly, your Rayleigh's number will be calculated, and this Rayleigh's number 10 to the power of 8, which is less than the 10 to the power of 9. Hence, it is a laminar flow, and hence you will use this correlation and you will calculate what is the heat transfer coefficient. You can observe here, purposefully this problem is demonstrated. You can observe here, when the horizontal plate heated surface facing up and facing down, and the same plate if it is vertical. You observe here. So here, when it is facing up, we have the highest heat transfer coefficient, and when it's facing down, it is the lowest heat transfer coefficient compared to the vertical. So the vertical, which lies in between the horizontal plate facing up, heated surface facing up, and horizontal uh, plate whose heated surface facing down. So obviously, you can observe this. The the reason I gave in the previous